Alaska. I'm going to be doing basically my weekly weight loss update throughout this live stream. Today, I'm also getting ready to cook up this amazing steak. And if I can figure out the buttons, maybe. There we go. All right, this is what I got going on here. This is top sirloin that I cut from a big giant Costco slab of meat. And we're going to get this prepared and ready to go. But in the meantime, yeah, we're going to have a little bit of discussion around my health and weight loss journey, my carnivore journey. I've had some amazing off-scale victories in the last couple of weeks, and some of those off-scale victories come right along with I'm lacking words here. That happens, but it comes right along with some of the old information that used to be attached to my medical records. That was something that I found out just yesterday when I downloaded the application for my health records, and I started looking through some of the older details, because they have a little checklist there of things that have happened to you in the past and things that have been remedied, either as they're active or active situations that are ongoing. And some of them have been remedied, and they've been remedied since I started the carnivore diet. One thing that has been remedied is my mild sleep apnea. So now that's on record that's been remedied. And this is with no input from me, by the way. This type of stuff is just amazing. Right now I'm just patting down the steak, trying to get it all nice and dry, and I'm going to get ready to season the one side here. Get that ready to go. So we're going to season this side before I get too involved here. And I'm going to be using this Himalayan pink salt here to get this seasoned up. I like to add a little bit of Himalayan pink salt on one side, and then I also like to add a little bit of Redmond's real salt, and this has a little bit of garlic in it. And I was a little bit disappointed when I actually did some research about how much oxalates are in garlic, but there's not a whole lot in here because it's mixed with garlic and salt. So I'm not too overly concerned about that. So we're going to get that cutting board wiped up a little bit because I don't want to double duty the juices here. Now this is stuff that I never knew about. I didn't know anything about cooking steaks. I just always took a steak out of the freezer and just threw it randomly on a grill, and it usually turned out like crap. So I didn't know anything about trying to make a good steak. And since I started doing these live streams about cooking steak in cast iron, I've learned a thing or two, and I figured out how to make it come out pretty well as far as how I like it. And again, we're putting a little bit more of the Redmond's garlic salt on there, and some more of the Himalayan pink salt. And I did want to get over here and grab some of that, I think it's Montreal steak seasoning. That worked out pretty well. There it is. For some reason, I'm one of those kind of people that have several containers open at the same time. And I don't know, even if they're the big containers like this with seasoning. So this is what I'll be putting on it. Montreal steak seasoning. It's the kind of stuff you can get there at Walmart. Who do we got in there? Vicky. Hey, Vicky, how you doing? Yeah, we're just making up some steak today. We're going over some of the, off-scale victory topics that I've had for the week. My weight loss has still been kind of the same. I think it's going to stay the same for the next couple of weeks until I actually get back to work, and then I can get a steady routine going. And I am going to start implementing in some more fasting here coming up this week, because with the carnivore diet, for me, if I'm just eating meats and fats all the time and I'm not doing any fasting along with it, everything just maintains. It stays kind of the same. There's like no dramatic weight loss going on. But there's other benefits. There's other off-scale victory benefits, and that's the video that I'm getting ready to upload today. So that video should be coming out. I believe it's titled Emotional Off-Scale Victories, and I should have it out either later this afternoon or sometime maybe tomorrow, depending on how it looks after I preview it once it uploads to YouTube. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how that video performs. I could use another good, rock star video, but I'm not well seasoned on making videos on YouTube. So when my videos do well, it's kind of a fluke. I'm just getting lucky, if that makes sense. It's like once in a while I'll do a really good video and it'll perform well. But that's all part of learning, how to do all this. It's just like learning how to make a steak. You just got to learn as you go. If you don't ever try to cook a steak, then look up a couple videos on how to make a halfway decent steak. Yeah, you're not going to do it well the first time. So, all right, we got that all seasoned up, nice and pretty. I need to get my cast iron hot and ready. I do have it primed and ready with some olive oil. And in the meantime, I can check to see what's going on here. Oh, come on. There we go. I guess I should have had that preheating, but it's okay. We can wait. Let's see. Pearl. I saw Chris cook in Nashville today where he made cheese crackers in honor of you and your request. Yes, that was absolutely... I was flabbergasted. I was like, yes, finally somebody came up with, cheese, carnivore type cheese it. And I had a little bit of input on maybe how it might work or, stuff like, I don't know if that's not necessarily what he used. But he had a good solid foundation for an idea on how to make it. And I'm not the only one that asked him to do that, by the way. But this is something that... I don't eat these anymore, but this is the longest the Cheez-Its have ever lasted in my house, is when I started on the carnivore diet. So I stopped eating those traditional Cheez-Its because there's just so much stuff in them. I used to love them. I would sit there for, and just eat an entire box, and then I would eat more, and then I would go get more. And I had 4 or 5 different Cheez-It flavors in the house, and I was constantly eating those all the time, just wrecking my life. And on top of that, I was eating all kinds of other crap. So, I mean, it's just crazy, the stuff that we do to ourselves and think that we're really not hurting ourselves that bad. But yeah, I was just amazed at how much food I was actually eating when I created a food log. And that was one of the biggest things for me to figure out myself and to get things started with losing weight was, my doctor said, hey, why don't you try a food log for a while, come back in a week or two. And it took me a while to get a really good, solid food log written down. But that helped me a bunch, because after a while, you just get tired of writing stuff down because you don't realize how much food you're eating. If the average person that's morbidly obese right now would start a food log, by this afternoon, they would probably understand what I'm talking about. They'd be like, yeah, I have already eaten a lot today and I'm thinking about eating more and I don't want to write it down. That's where I was. I didn't want to write it down anymore because it was just like, wow, I'm tired of it. I got tired of writing it down. That's when I learned how to, started looking into fasting principles and stuff like that and started my first, several different type of fasts in order to start losing the initial body weight. But yeah, some of that information on my medical record has been revised. I was super happy to see that. My high blood pressure. I was never potentially a diabetic, even though I was 435 pounds. That was something that the neurology doctor talked about. It was like, hey, you've had really good blood sugar and glucose levels and all that. You're extremely lucky there. So good genetics. I do have a family member that is a diabetic, and she's directly related in my bloodline. So, I mean, I don't know. It's up in the air if diabetes is hereditary or genetics or, from DNA. But I think a lot of it has to do with, if one of my family members is going to be eating a crap diet, chances are I'm probably going to eat a crap diet too. Laying that in the pan, getting it ready to go. All right, that sounds pretty good. I'm gonna clean off this cutting board real quick, make it look a little bit more presentable with a lot of crap on it. Yeah, there we go. Got this steak going. I'm super excited to eat this today. I'm so hungry. Last night I wound up well, actually yesterday's live stream, I was making a bunch of bacon, and I made about, I think it was over a pound, maybe 2 pounds of bacon. And like I said, it's already gone. I'm looking here in the fridge, and it's nowhere in sight. So yeah, bacon doesn't last long. Something I found out after eating that bacon yesterday was that because I have to walk about 1,200 steps. It's right around 1,200 steps, or a little bit more, to my kid's school, and you know, that's to pick her up from school and pick up both of my kids and bring them home. But I was powered out after eating that bacon and then heading up there. It was almost like I felt almost like I was eating deep fried food, you know, from the extra saturated fats that are in the bacon. I mean, while I was eating it, I felt pretty good. All right. Yeah, I gotta hear the other side a little bit better than that. But for a first flip, it's not too bad. So we're gonna give that a few more minutes on the other side, and then we're gonna start manipulating the steak there. But yeah, I got home after that walk, so it's approximately 25 to 2,600 steps to my kids' school and coming back here. And I have been walking a lot more, which is a huge improvement from previous weeks on my weight loss journey. So I'm kind of happy about that. I've also been able to get out and go for bike rides, which is something even when I was lighter than this, I had a hard time doing, because I might have been skinnier, but I was unhealthy. I was eating the wrong types of foods. So just because you're small, it doesn't mean you're healthy. Just because you're small, you might be petite, it doesn't mean you're healthy at all. It's all about what you're putting in your body from 1 minute of the day to the next minute of the day. It's just crazy. So, all right, what do we got in here? I don't know how to speak that language. Rump steak, Emirnash. I don't have a translator on my phone for the thread, so I don't know what you're saying there, Rennie. But I appreciate you dropping in there. Greetings from Arkansas. Matsu-Sitno was my old stomping grounds. Hey, right on there, Jay Brook. Yeah, I lived in Wasilla for a good long while. I owned several homes out there. And then I just got tired of how crowded it got, so we moved to Anchorage. And I also got tired of the commute. So that was one thing I couldn't stand, because most of the jobs are here in Anchorage. And at that time, a lot of the jobs were petering out in Wasilla. So I came into Anchorage. Get this a flip. Okay, that crust isn't looking too bad. It's coming along. I'm not too upset. I do need to work on that. Work on the timing a little bit. But it looks all right. Let's see what else we got in here. Yeah. Okay, what's your opinion on LGBTQ? I don't have an opinion on that, because I'm neither or. So I really don't care. Whatever somebody wants to be, they can be. I'm fat. Other people are skinny. I don't have an opinion on that either. But I do have an opinion on health. Let's see. Squatchy says, what's up? Hey, what's up, Squatchy? Well, yeah, I was super excited about Chris Cook's in Nashville's video that just released today about Cheez-Its, a carnivore type Cheez-It. I did tell him I was going to plan on recreating that here in my own goofy way in my kitchen, you know, because I have my own weird ways of doing stuff. All right, there we go. Now we got a good halfway decent sear on there. I think somebody said they put a spatula on top of their steak and pushed it down. That way it had a little bit more even crust. I should probably start doing that. But I really want this to come out good, because I like a really nice crust on my steak. And when I make these on doing a live stream, I tend to forget about doing certain things. Let's see here. All right. So yeah, this is what we got going on here. Top sirloin. And I try to fry this up on either side to get it that nice dark golden crust for, you know, a couple minutes on either side. Now, for some reason, my gas stove heats up a little weird, so it heats up this part of the pan a whole lot quicker, so I get a browning up here. So quite often I'll have to move it around. Okay, we're starting to look pretty good now. I'm Not upset with that. I'm going to start dropping the temperature. And then I'm actually going to start adding some butter in there. Get you guys hunkered down over here. Give you some elevation. And turn you down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to fight with it. All right, that looks pretty good. So far, I'm not too upset with that. Now the hard part for me is getting it to the right temperature after getting this all set up. Now I do have some butter ready to go. This pan is ripping hot now, so I don't necessarily want to get that butter right on the pan. I'm probably going to add a lot of butter. I'm going to let that sit on there and get melted down. Right now I got the temperature on super low because I don't want to, burn the crap out of it. Get out of here. There we go. The best part about hanging out with me is you never know what the hell I'm going to do next. Because I have made a lot of mistakes here in the kitchen. Yeah, right there, Guillermo Domingo. It is good shit. Yeah, I like messing around in the kitchen and making some good food. And hopefully I don't ruin this steak. I do need to get it. So I flipped over again before I overcooked that one side. There we go. Oh, look at that. There we go. Now that butter is gold. Look at that. Look at how that works. Man. I'm going to give it one more flip. Get some of that butter on both sides. Make sure it's on there nice. Flip it over again. So I do want this side to brown a little bit more. But I do need to get the trusty meat thermometer out. See what I'm getting at here. Now let's see. All right, so what temperature would you guys set yours at? I see some people set theirs at like 125, and then they just let it sit and rest. So I'm going to set it at 125 for right now. And for now, we're just going to pluck that in there and let it wait for a little while. See what it gets up to. I'm not super fussy on the temperature, as long as it's safe to eat. I'd even eat it right now, and it'd be super rare on the inside. I mean, if this thing can crawl around on the plate, I would still eat it. I am not fussy. Gonna grab some utensils, a plate. Go ahead and get one of my favorite knives out. I like using a straight blade instead of a steak knife. I don't like the way steak knives just hack up my meat. So I'll get that over there. All right, how far does $100 go in Alaska grocery store? Really not very far. So this steak right here, for instance, that'll be about $30-something. So there goes the majority of your $100 bill. And then the gas you got to put in your car, there goes the rest of it. All right, we're already at 125 internally. That means I can shut that noisy thing off. And I can start working on the edges. So I'll get you guys set up here. We'll start working on the edges here and get those seared up nicely. All right. Now this is an important step here. Just trying to do the sides like this. And I saw somebody else, they figured out how to stand these things up with their tongs. But I don't know how they do it without making the tongs get super hot. So you got to get that nice sear, and it also makes the fat on the end melt. And it gets a nice crust on the fat. And it makes it edible, so it's not like really chewy, annoying fat on the ends. So that's why it's important to stand them up on ends, especially on the fat cap. And you leave it there for as long as you think, because there is no right or wrong way to do this. You're just trying not to burn it. And then you do this all the way around the steak. And it should be absolutely amazing when it's done. Especially now that it's swimming in butter. Let's see what you guys got talking about in here. I look forward to seeing your carnivore cheese it recipe. Creative ability in the kitchen is a fantastic skill. I don't know if I'm going to do it on a live stream or what I'm going to do, because I don't mind doing it on a live stream, especially when I'm learning how to do something new. You know, because it's kind of fun. It's comical. You never know what's going to happen. You know, just like me cooking steak, I've made some mistakes. I've done some weird stuff when trying to do this stuff on a live stream. I mean, choking on food is not it's not very fun, but it happens. It happens in real life too. You know, when I was really fat and just gorging on the food, I did notice that when I was overdoing it, I would tend to start breathing heavy, and then I would be more likely to accidentally inhale food particles. And then I'd be just sitting there just like coughing up along, like what in the heck was I doing to myself? We're getting closer to being delicious. It's already getting floppy. It's kind of like how I was a few months ago. I was just floppy. I was floppy all over my body. Nothing was staying where it was supposed to. Let's see. Everything's looking pretty good there. Give it a little bit more. All right, I think that's just about done, guys. It's almost time to get ready to eat this thing. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna get that plated up and let it cool. Let it cool down for a little bit. That's plenty cooked for me. I am not, like I said, I'm not fussy here, but that's what we got going on there. We're gonna head this bad boy over to the table and hopefully enjoy this. Oh, you know what I need to do? I always forget to do this part, which is I need to get water. So I get going on a live stream and I totally forget. So we're gonna get some water first. Then we're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk about some of the amazing things that have happened to me in the last couple of weeks. And the video I'm getting ready to upload, it's gonna talk a little bit about that. It's gonna show you guys, you know, what actually happened when we were doing my trip. It was on, you know, one of the parts of it was happened during my during my birthday. And it just blew me away. It totally surprised me because I didn't think I was doing as well as I am right now. I had no idea. So, like, I can get on a bicycle and just go for a ride. And absolutely, my legs felt like jello when I got done riding my bicycle. But it was just absolutely incredible how comfortable I felt. My butt didn't hurt when I was sitting on the seat. I was able to go for a ride for 3-4 miles without a problem. I mean, wasn't a whole lot of hills or terrain or anything like that, but it was just amazing how I could actually ride it now compared to even when I was lighter than I am now. So yeah, I mean, the carnivore diet's, you know, it kind of works. So I can't complain. And especially when it helps out my respiratory system, because I was riding and yeah, my heart rate was up. I was breathing heavy, but I wasn't like having an asthma attack when I was riding my bicycle. So yeah, just eating meats and fats. And I've been doing this for an extended period of time now, so I'm actually starting to see some of the underlying benefits of the carnivore diet, like other people claimed. I never thought a lot of it was true, but I wanted to see if there was more to it. Because before I started getting a little bit more serious and eating a lot more meats and fats, I was just doing a 90-10 eating principle where I was eating 90% meats and fats, then 10% I didn't care. So now, you know, I'm more focused on just eating the steaks and the hamburgers, sometimes chicken wings and pork. I try to stay away from a lot of the pork because it slows down my weight loss, even though it is carnivore. Chicken slows down my weight loss. I've found that out too, because I've eliminated everything for a period of time. And then I focused mainly on kind of a lion diet type carnivore. And then then I slowly started adding other things back in here and there and seeing how I felt. Well, the chicken wings definitely stopped my weight loss. So even though they're carnivore, there's a lot of carnivore foods that will slow weight loss down. So chicken wings is one. Pork is another that slows me down. If I'm eating beef and if I eat steak, I do feel absolutely amazing. So if I eat 80-20 hamburger patties, I feel fantastic. Now, somebody else might feel great if they ate 70-30. If I eat 70-30, I feel a little bogged down because it has a little bit more fat content. But I mean, you got to figure out what works for you, and that's what makes this fun. I got several kitties. Will they be getting a little piece of the steak? I don't know. Thinking of that. I'm gonna go check my son's room. Sometimes they get locked in there. Oh, that was so much butter and the salt and the steak seasoning. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, there she is. She's in there on my kid's mess. My son decided to make a big giant mess in his bedroom. That's his way of cleaning. You ever know that? Teenagers do that. You ask them to go clean their room and they just trash it and leave. And that's how they clean stuff. I don't understand that. I was never allowed to do that stuff when I was a kid. Well, it's all right. They're out of the house for a little while. That's too big of a piece. I took them. Now, when you binge eat a lot, you know, we tend to take bigger bites than we can chew. That's kind of where I'm at. But the nice part about the carnivore diet is I can binge eat steak. I can binge eat hamburgers. You know, pretty much any meats, any fats. And I'm not going to be gaining the weight like I would if I were binge eating all the garbage food that I used to previously. And in the meantime, I'm getting a lot of health and healing benefits from eating the meat, even if I'm overeating it. So it's just crazy how it works. And I'll be honest, I didn't think this worked. I didn't think it was going to work. I didn't think I'd still be doing a carnivore diet because I'm a big guy. That's why my channel name's called Big Man Alaska, is I can make my own choices. If I want to just eat meats or if I want to just eat vegetables, you know, I have the ability to change my mind, and anybody does. But this really works for me. I've done so many different eating habits and strategies and taken advice from doctors and nutritionists. And they never led me down a road of, you know, eat more fats and proteins. And so, yeah, I was very skeptical when I first started this. I thought this was a for sure way to kill me and I was going to have a heart attack. I mean, I even pushed the boundaries by going weeks, just eating nothing but eggs, eating just pound after pound of bacon. Nothing but health improvements have happened as a result. I mean, I don't recommend it to do that, you know, especially unless you know your own limitations. I don't recommend anybody do that, but I was pushing all the boundaries to see if I could screw it up. Because I mean, if there's a way to screw up something, I can usually figure it out. So I was trying to screw up the carnivore diet, and in return, that's the last thing that happened. It just turned around, and it's the exact opposite. I just my blood pressure went down, my blood sugar, you know, it was already pretty good, but it regulated even further, which is miraculous. I mean, just crazy. And then my blood pressure, like it being normal, it's never been normal. I've never had like a normal blood pressure, you know, unless you're talking like when I was 13 or 15 years old. That was back when we had pretty decent food back then, you know, because I'm 50 years old. So yeah, that's a long time ago. All right. Get in here and see what we got going on there. But yeah, if my other cat gets out here, she will be getting a piece of steak. She likes it. News and analysis with Artro. That is a very long handle. Okay, I use chicken to refuel for lunch, but I walk around at 154 pounds and I train 2 days a week, several times a week. Now there's the thing, that's how we differ. If you train on purpose. I'm a truck driver. I'm an over-the-road truck driver. I'm a dump truck driver. If there's something to drive, I'll drive it. I'll take care of whatever needs to be done. But as a general rule, truck drivers, we don't get a lot of exercise. Now, some truck drivers, they get more exercise than others, depending on what the job is and the details. I got a lot of exercise running a tanker, pulling the hoses and setting it up and climbing up and down on the tanker, to open the vents and, to fill them or, whatnot. But I got a lot of exercise on the tankers. I also got a lot of exercise when I was running flatbeds or hauling heavy equipment, because you got heavy chains to haul around. You got to get them set up, laid out, hooked up, and then you got to put them away when you're done with them. So there's a lot of effort. But yeah, I'm not the kind of guy that runs around town and thinks jogging's a great idea. That's not who I am. I've been losing weight with little to no exercise, and basically just going to work and coming home and just eating meats, and that's been working so far. Now let's see, we were more active back in the day. Yeah, absolutely. I was so much more active back in the day, but we were also fueling ourselves with healthier options. Even the junk food back in the day was a healthier option before everything became overly processed. I mean, sugar was still sugar. Carbs were still carbs. Vegetables tend to turn into sugars as well. But we didn't have a lot of GMO nonsense crap going on. We didn't have, not everything was manipulated at that point. Even boxed food would only stand on the shelves for maybe a week or two. Now that nowadays people buy boxed food, it sits in their pantry for months, sometimes years, and then we'll still use it years from now, even though we probably shouldn't. Stop eating. No way, man. This is steak. Steak is good for you. So much nutrition in a steak. So much nutrition in red meat. And we were lied to. We were told the opposite. We were told to stay away from that. Cut off the fat and throw it away. In some cases, we were told don't even give it to your dog. And that's probably the only thing that kept a lot of those dogs alive over the years, is people were cutting off all the fat trimmings and giving it to their dogs. Because fat is actually pretty healthy, and the dogs can use it as fuel. Well, people can too. I mean, that's how I stay energized. I eat all the fat. I eat all the connective tissue and everything else that's here. And the protein is super helpful. I mean, I add extra fats to it. I add butter. I add bacon grease sometimes. I haven't gotten down to the store to get some beef trimmings, because I wanted to make beef tallow on my own. So I was thinking of getting anywhere from 10 to 14 pounds of beef trimmings. And then cut off all the fat, put them in a crock pot, and make me some tallow. I mean, that sounds amazing. But yeah, I can't believe in the last 3 to 4 weeks, my weight has stayed just stalled. It just stalled. And that was with some fasting added to it. I think next week, what I'm planning on doing is I'm looking at probably going to try to do alternate day fasting, 36-hour fasting for next week. So that way I'll probably start on Sunday. I'll fast for 36 hours. I'll be able to eat again on Tuesday. Tuesday morning, I can have 3 reasonable meals throughout the day until 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and then I'll fast again on Wednesday. And on Thursday, I can eat again. And then it'll just kind of roll on into the weekend, and we'll see if we get any weight loss there. Let's see, we got true. I work retail and I train strength and conditioning 5 days a week. That's amazing. Muay Thai 3 days a week. That's a sport in itself, doing Muay Thai. Just training to be, just training to learn how to box. I did that for a little while, and that was such a workout. Because you're squatting, you're ducking, you're moving around. There's so much value in just learning how to fight in the first place, besides the fact you learn how to protect yourself, and that's helpful. But it builds up muscle groups, and you're not even aware, that these muscle groups are growing, because you're just doing the training that you're being taught. And then punching in itself. And people that don't train to fight don't understand how much energy it takes just to go like this and then just stand there like this for a long period of time and move around and then throw the punches. And then one thing I notice is when I throw a punch and miss, it feels like it takes 5 times more energy out of me when I miss. So I can just imagine those guys. I don't fight in the ring, by the way. I wouldn't, because I got dental stuff going on up here, and I'd probably be upset if my teeth broke out right now, because that would be a pain in the butt. Intermittent fasting is great, they say. I have to work on discipline. Eating has become a habit. Now that's where fasting, 36-hour fasting specifically, helps you with that discipline. That was one thing I noticed right away when I did it last time. Now just fasting in general and actually making your fasting schedule and accomplishing it, that also helps, with the mental aspects of, trying to control your eating habits and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Let's see, cut your steak with that ulu. I just cleaned off the ulu. My wife used it earlier for making some food for the kids, so I just cleaned it off. It's not a stainless steel ulu, so I have to clean it really specifically. So I got to get it all cleaned off, and I got to make sure it's completely dry before we put it away, or else it'll start to rust, and it's just not made out of the right material. But it's super sharp. Don't be ashamed of the stall. Yeah, their garden just says, I just want to say, don't be ashamed of your stall you're in, Big Man Alaska. Nonetheless, I do want to say, I see your discipline and resilience. Well, I appreciate that. I just try to be realistic. I want to share with people, what's happening to me, even though I don't believe it's happening to me at times, because it's just weird. I mean, even when I was fasting and I lost weight, I was like, wow, this was pretty simple. And it was just that. It was fast. It was quick weight loss. And I was just more surprised. I was like, why don't more people know about this? Why don't more people talk about this? And then I had to think back to, all the people on the internet that are talking about health and nutrition. The majority of them, they have, previous morbidity and health issue amnesia when they talk to people. So I was trying to learn how to talk to people and not forget where I came from. Hey there, Donna. I appreciate you jumping in. We're making a steak today. I'm talking about some of my off-scale victories for the week. Yeah, really chewy pieces. Starting to be annoying. Now it's stuck in my teeth. We're going to have to take care of that. Hold on. Here you go. You had to give that to the dog. I couldn't shoot through it. It just kept going. But yeah, when I was looking at my medical history today, and it said that my mild sleep apnea has improved. My overall sleep apnea has, been remedied. I technically don't need a CPAP, but I still like to use it. I mean, after all, I paid for it. I have been going rounds with Philips Respironics about getting my BiPAP replaced, so I sent them all the information the other day. They made the whole process overly complicated again, and I did tell them that. I said, I don't know why this is so complicated, because are you just hoping that people won't do the process so they can get their CPAP replaced? Because I've been going back and forth with them seems like a year or 2 years or however long, maybe it's about a year since the whole process started. A lot of people fall. A lot of people fail during the stall. You're fighting it and it's paying off. Yeah, that's something else that's important to mention, is that when you're having a weight loss stall, it becomes extremely frustrating, not just for you, but other people around you, because when you first start losing weight, you're going to knock those pounds off right away, especially if you're morbidly obese and you're trying to get back down to normal. So for me, getting down to what was it? 335. From 435 to 335. That was my first 100 pounds of weight loss. That went pretty quick. I mean, that was 15 weeks, and I lost that first 100 pounds. And then I was still dropping weight pretty quick after that. So it was like, yeah, whoa, I can just make videos about this, and I can get down to 235 in record time. But in reality, I got down to about 300 pounds. That's when I hit, hey, there's your wall. You're kind of stuck here. And then I had some bright ideas that made it worse, and where I fell off the rails for a little bit. But I didn't give up. I still had the mindset that I'm still doing this. I mean, even though I was eating off the rails for about a week, I still had the mindset. It was like, all right, I gained all of that information. I gained all of that experience. I can recreate, what I was doing. And that's how I got back to, starting to lose weight again, let alone just getting healthier. Because it's hard. It's so hard. Just getting started was the hard part. But once you learn, how things work, how ketosis works, everything starts moving along quite nicely. But we're eating steak today, if anybody's curious. I just got done cooking it up. It really didn't take long. Especially now that I learned how to cook steak, it goes a whole lot quicker. Because I was so intimidated by, cooking up steaks, because here in Alaska, steaks are expensive. Like, this would be a $30 to $40 steak if I bought it cut this way at the grocery store. So in the back of my mind, I'm looking at like a super expensive piece of meat. Well, since I got this out of a big chunk of meat, a big chunk of sirloin meat, and I cut up my own steaks, like this steak here, it's only costing me about what? $4 to $5, about $5 per meal. So, and I can do the same thing with ground beef. I can have each meal cost me $5 or less. Sometimes if I only eat two burger patties, we're talking about 2 quarter-pound burger patties of Costco ground beef, and then I process it myself into patties. I mean, I can literally eat for $2.50 per meal. So it just makes sense to go get your own meat, learn how to process it, learn how to store it correctly, and then learn how to cook it. And it takes a little time. It took me a while to figure out how to do certain things. See what we got going on there. Steak, ground beef, ground lamb are expensive in Alaska. Ground lamb is super expensive, and we even have a halal store not too far away from here. I don't like the way they store their stuff, because I believe it's a Somalia type store, but they make a lot of really cool food. They make a lot of healthy options. I haven't been able to try their healthy options. Before I started losing weight, I was buying their fry bread. They have a very interesting fry bread, the Somalians do. And it's got this weird little spice on it that tastes absolutely amazing. And there's fry bread recipes from all over the world. Alaskan natives have their own particular fry bread recipe that's different than, let's say, fry bread down in the lower 48. So yeah, the Somalia fry bread, yeah, totally different flavor profile and everything. Travel with me. I am Big John. I live here in Anchorage, Alaska, sir. I'm guessing you're a sir. It just says travel with me. Could be a man. But Safeway has a good quality ground lamb. I couldn't afford to buy that at Safeway. Let's see, my buddy Ismail, whose dad used to own Aladdin's, told me that the ground lamb at Safeway is halal. They usually advertise that too. I noticed that at Costco Business Center now, they're advertising some meats as halal, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of people in the world that prefer halal meat, because it's clean, clean meat. That's the whole point of halal meat, as far as I understand it. There's also a process of dispatching the animal in a little bit different way, which just makes it a lot easier for the animal to pass on, so the meat doesn't get all tensed up and stressed out. I'm not against it. It's pretty good. Let's see. Nice to meet you, right? I am a man. Okay, I appreciate that. I apologize if I got it wrong. But I've been for a long time on Aleutian Islands. Well, you get a lot of rain down there on the Aleutian Islands. Lately, they've been getting a whole bunch of earthquakes and stuff. I guess there's a volcano down at the end of the chain there that's burping a lot, making the locals a little bit restless down there. I mostly eat fish, but I can get halal lamb. I will buy it. I would love to try lamb. It's just currently I'm waiting for work to start, which is normal for Alaska this time of year. So when the road restrictions come off and we can haul full loads within the next week or two, and I'm getting anxious because we're getting broke. We're getting broker by the day. So yeah, I'm getting anxious to get back to work. That will slow down a lot of my live streams and video production and stuff like that to back to where it was when I first started my weight loss journey. So I was doing update videos on the weekends when I had time. So I was reliably updating videos, either Saturday or Sunday, because that was the only 2 days I had off. So Saturday or Sunday, I was literally working Saturday and Sunday, and then I would be back to work Monday morning. So I haven't really had too many days off in between. And the weekend is typically the time I like to catch up on Netflix videos and stuff like that, and series that I might be watching, because the wife will start a series. I want to watch it, and then she'll want to watch what I'm watching. It just makes it all kinds of fun. Let's see. Most jobs in Alaska are seasonal unless you work retail. There's a whole bunch of service industry jobs up here, and those are extremely seasonal jobs. The tourist industry, service type jobs, food related jobs, those pick up in the summertime here because people are flying up here tourist season. We got cruise ships going on. We got the Alaska Railroad picking up. They do their touristy stuff. Denali out there off the highway, they got a lot of touristy stuff going on up there. So all those resorts will be filling up, plus the people that like to come out here and fly out to the bush. It just gets incredibly busy up here, and they're coming quick. We're going to start seeing motorhomes everywhere, and you'll hear me cussing about those in a little while. Let's see. Hello from Alberta, Canada. I just ate my dinner. I eat a lot of ground beef. Very affordable. I used Himalayan salt. Yeah, I love Himalayan pink salt. It's so good. It's so healthy for you. It's so much better than that white table salt. That stuff is horrible. They put all kinds of stuff in that white salt too. I mean, I don't know why it's even for sale. I mean, the only thing I use that white salt for now is, well, actually, it's not me. The wife uses it for tanning hides. When we get an animal and we want to keep the fur, she learned how to dehydrate the hide with the salt. So we use a lot of that salt for that, and it's cheap. It's inexpensive. Someone's from Kentucky. Alex. Hey there, Alex. From USA, Kentucky, just popped in. The steak is amazing. I just got done uploading this week's video. It hasn't posted yet. I'm just waiting on everything YouTube to process, and then it'll be up here before too long. Probably by 5 o'clock Alaska time, I can have that video ready to watch. I appreciate you jumping in there, Alex. But yeah, the steak's amazing. Watching from Glasgow, Scotland. Awesome. I didn't even get a chance in this week's video to mention that I wanted people to start trying to send me postcards if they can. Like people from Scotland. I want to start collecting postcards. I don't care if it's from the United States, Canada, far away, whatever. I want to start collecting postcards from all over the world. Basically, so I can open the box and I can look at it. I can share it with my children later in life. And I can be like, look at all the people, that your daddy reached out to. If I helped you in any way, inspired you to lose weight, inspired you to eat a little differently or healthier, just jot that down on a postcard, send it my way. And I'm going to keep that. I'm going to make it a keepsake for my children. Now my address is on. My address is in the other room. I purchased a PO box for the channel, and I totally keep forgetting to. And the PO box will be in the description section, but I can't put it in there until after the upload. Because these vertical live streams, we set them up a little bit differently. But I can go get the address if anybody is interested. That way we can maybe get that started. I don't know if anybody is interested in sending a postcard. They don't cost a lot, and it would be a lot of fun. Because somebody can send me something and I can talk about it. Maybe somebody will send me some hate mail in the mail. That'd be cool too. I'll take that. You guys want to make fun of me through postcards? That'd be fun too. I'm all for it. Well, let's see here. So let's see. I think I can make a comment. Can I? I don't know if I can or not. Let's see. What is this? Let's see what this button does. Live chat, super chats, blah, 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 top chats, potentially spam. Anyways, let's get out of there. I don't know what that button did. It doesn't look like I have an option to make a comment right now. Like if I wanted to actually put it in here. But anyways, for those of you that are listening right now, there's only 14 of you in the stream. But it's P.O. Box 141791, Anchorage, Alaska, 99514. And that would be a fun thing to get started. So, but if anybody's interested or didn't hear that, you can ask me again later or now. It's 11:10 p.m. here. That is van life. And let's see, I can do it tomorrow. I'd appreciate it. I would love to get postcards from all over the world. My dad and I used to collect those QSL cards when he was talking on the radio all the time. He was mainly using like sideband, and he was talking to Europe. We were talking to places all over, and we would get these things called a QSL card in the mail, and they'd usually come with like a little, inexpensive coin attached or something like that, and we just throw that in a box too and keep it. Well, I did a good job with this steak. I mean, this has probably been the best tasting steak that I've made. I don't know why that's hard to cut through. What happened there? I haven't had a piece that was that hard. Maybe I got a line of gristle here. That sucks. Oh well, we'll cut the other direction now. Towards the fat cap and see how that tastes. Yeah, there's a nice piece of fat on there. Yep, that's nice. Melts like butter. That's good stuff. But yeah, if I didn't learn how to process my own meat, through the carnivore community, because that's really where I started getting into it, because I wasn't into a lot of meat before, because I was so used to eating crap, garbage food. I believed all the nonsense that you just need to eat vegetables and eat like a rabbit to get healthy and lose weight. And so I tried it, and I was screwing up my health by doing so. I mean, the kidney stones alone was enough to drive me away from the vegetables. And then with the tomatoes, I didn't know tomatoes made you horribly agitated until they did. I was like, wow. But I mean, it takes a lot of tomatoes, by the way, for it to really, really affect your mood. But yeah, that was something that I noticed, was that my attitude went just through the roof. I'd just be angry after eating tomatoes, and I'd be argumentative. Now that I learned that garlic has a lot of oxalates, garlic, pepper, I mean, some of the weirdest things that I just never would have thought had a ton of oxalates in them. I'm trying to stay away from oxalates because oxalates help create kidney stones. I'm not a fan of kidney stones because they hurt. Yeah, beef steak there, van life. What's your dad? Ham radio operator? Yes, he was. I don't remember his handle. It's been too many years. Yeah, my dad was big into the ham radios. He had a big giant ham radio, and then he did a lot of sideband talking. We had this big, huge antenna that stuck off the side of the house with a little rotator turn knob, so we could dial it in on, different parts of the world. That way when the skip was in, we could just turn it a little bit and then bounce off the atmosphere and down over into some other country. That was fun. Wish my roommate would go carnivore with me. He lives off of junk. It's worrisome watching. It is worrisome when you're watching one of your loved ones or roommates or family members just start putting on the pounds, and then they feel hungry. They're putting on weight, and they're constantly hungry all the time. And it's like, and you just want to shake them. You're like, man, you can still eat food. You can eat food. You can eat all of this that you want. Just stay away from that other stuff. You can just pound the steak down. You can eat a ton of burgers. You know, you can just eat a ton of meat. Be fully satiated. You're not going to worry about all that other crap. Now, that's the one thing I like about the carnivore diet, because it takes all of the fussiness away from the way I can eat. And I will allow some vegetables and once in a while some fruit. So I'm never going to claim I'm 100% meats and fats. But for right now, yeah, for the most part, this is the majority of the foods that I'm eating is steaks. It's animal products. It's what I've been doing. But if I should have a sugar craving, the easiest way to bail myself out of a sugar craving is to go get a flat of blueberries. You know, if you just can't, you know, get rid of the urge of a sugar craving, you know, some basic low-lying fruits tend to help the cravings. And I think that's important, you know, because sometimes people get so wrapped up in just the carnivore diet, they get afraid to talk about fruits. They get afraid to talk about vegetables because they feel like they're going to be chastised. You know, we're going to be crucified, put up on a cross, you know, if we talk about stuff like that. But seriously, when I started the keto diet, I was just learning, you know, basic keto strategies. Very confusing, by the way. I know there's a lot of people out there, they over-science the keto process. They know that they got their own thing figured out. But when I was learning and just trying to figure out keto, I kept bumping in the walls. I was constantly going back and forth with different things. I'd feel different ways at different times. I didn't know why. And a lot of it was because I was trying to eat keto, but some of the keto options weren't exactly keto. So they were screwing up everything. They were screwing up my mind the most because it just got overly complicated. But I was using things like dill pickles, and I was staying in ketosis. I was losing weight, eating dill pickles. I was also eating hard-boiled eggs, and that's carnivore. But there's some people that can't eat eggs; they just can't handle the eggs. But that worked out really well. Another product I was using, I was losing weight while eating this, and I did some more research into it. It's called Ezekiel bread. It is carbo. A lot of carbs there, but I was losing weight when I was eating that. So, you know, I'd only eat like a sandwich, and I was still losing weight with it, even though all the information I could find out about it, it was kind of like opposite of what I was experiencing. So, I mean, that one's up in the air. That's weird. He's addicted to them badly. That's too bad, man. Yeah, when people are addicted to sugar and junk food, it just makes it really, really hard. I mean, it makes it hard to live in the same household. My kids, I'm trying to get them, you know, to start eating a little bit healthier. But my girls are extremely fussy about what they're trying to eat. My son is coming around. He's starting to do carnivore related type eating all on his own, you know, because he's seen what's happening to dad. He sees that I'm losing a lot of weight, and I'm maintaining my health right now, eating the carnivore diet. I'm eating a lot. I'm eating often as I want. And he likes that. He's like, well, he's like, so I can do that and I can kind of stay at least the same and not gain a whole bunch of weight. But the hard part for teenagers is getting them away from all the, you know, bright colored foods and the food colorings and the sugars. So when he's away from the home, I don't know what he's doing. I just hope he's making better choices, because that's the only way you're going to get healthy or at least maintain something. All right. That was a good bite there. Yum. Yeah, this is really good, man. Let's see. I should go in the other room and check on my video upload and see what's going on with that. Because if it's ready to be posted, actually, I'll probably let it post about midnight tonight. That way it's not interfering with, the live stream I got going on today. Because we only get so many slots, to share our content. So if I upload a live stream and let it go out to the public, that's kind of like considered one of my videos for the day. So if I want a video to do well, it's just kind of YouTube strategy type stuff that sometimes works and usually works against us. Get this stuff out of the way here. Yeah, over here at my computer desk. It's more like a kitchen table set up in the living room. Let's see. So I don't have any copyright issues. That's good news. Ad suitability is good. So I can make a couple pennies on it. And we're going to schedule this for later. For tomorrow at 12 a.m. So that's midnight. And we're going to set it up for anybody that's a member can watch it first. But all right. So yeah, this week's video looks like it's about 12 minutes long. So it's a lot shorter than a lot of my videos. But that's what you're going to be looking for. 125 pounds down. The video title is Emotional Off-Scale Victories. So we're going to set it up for to pop up at midnight. So that way it doesn't affect everything that I'm doing here today. And we're going to set it up for members. See, for members only to public. So that means when I set it up for members only to public, that means if you're a member of the channel, you can come in and watch this sooner. There's also some membership perks available on the channel, so anybody can get a membership. Super chats are open for anybody that cares to leave me a super chat. I don't ask people to. I don't beg people to. It happens once in a while, and I appreciate it. We do get some money from that, but not a lot, by the way. I don't get a lot of money either by doing these videos. I mean, really, it's like I'm doing these for free. That's about how much I get paid. And we can talk a little bit about that too. Let's see what we got going on there. I'm strict with younger brother, my younger cousin. It's about nutrition and training. Yeah, that's super helpful if you got a family member or somebody like that that's educated in how to, do all that stuff, because it's hard. I mean, if we're not taught specifically how to lose weight, if we're not taught specifically why weight loss works in certain ways, ketosis, what happens at certain phases of weight loss, how to achieve certain phases of weight loss, where does the fat go, for instance? We breathe out the majority of our fat. I didn't know that before I got started doing this. I was like, wow, that's really cool stuff, but nobody's going to believe me. I mean, you can go and ask a lot of doctors and, people at the gym, and they don't even understand that, they're losing weight through their breathing. We lose weight when we sleep for the most part. And that's how I got started with weight loss. I found out I could lose weight while I was in bed doing nothing. And that was when I was 435 pounds, just getting things figured out. I'm like, wow, you can lose weight while you're in bed. Huh. I wonder how many other people know that. So I started sharing some of the videos. People were surprised to hear it. They're like, you can what? You can lose weight while you're asleep? I thought you had to go to the gym or eat like nothing and starve yourself and eat like a bunny rabbit to lose weight. Well, that's not true. I mean, you can lose weight with ketosis type eating, foods that keep you in ketosis, friendly ketosis foods, and you can lose weight while you're asleep at night. And we're not talking like a little bit of weight. You can lose pounds of weight while you sleep. You can go to bed at like, let's say 3:35, just a for instance number. I can wake up the next morning at 3:31, and I can keep doing that throughout the week, day to day to day to day. Now, it's just my opinion that, we're not necessarily meant to stay in a perpetual state of ketosis. So being able to take yourself out of ketosis and then learning how to bring yourself back into it seemed to work really well for me. I mean, I had a lot of success doing it that way. Looking forward to barbecue and pork steak. Just love sitting outside, eating, enjoying being outside after being indoors all winter. Yeah, being indoors sucks, especially if it's all winter. I mean, I've been getting a little bit of cabin fever myself. This last couple of weeks has been nice, especially since my birthday. Being able to get out, and explore Alaska a little bit more. And I will be posting some more exploration type videos. Doesn't mean they're gonna be awesome videos. I mean, I'm not trained to do YouTube stuff. So what videos I share are usually poor videos. Once in a while I can do a good job, but I don't know how. I don't know how I do it sometimes, but once in a while I can do all right. But where was I going from here? We were going to talk about something. Oh, come here, you. Get back to my dashboard. See what I got on here. Da 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 da. Where'd it go? Now this is the hard part, trying to navigate my way around the YouTube studio and find stuff that I'm actually looking for. Now I can click the earn button. Where does that take me? Getting paid, setup complete. I already got that figured out. All right. I was trying to find you some analytics on what I got going on the channel so people can understand. Let me see. Analytics. There we go. Okay. So, real time. Let's see. I also have a neat little thing here for those of you. Some people like watching this stuff, but I don't know. So I have this real count. Like this is actual live. So if you guys want to subscribe, unsubscribe, you can actually watch that thing go up and down. And since we started the stream, I think we gained about 9 subscribers so far, which is great. I got a hair on my, sorry about blowing at the phone, but I got a hair on there. But that is, the trend, from April 2024 up to today. It just gradually goes up. And that's nice to see. I mean, that's motivating. That's good stuff there. But what I was trying to find is some more information on, what I'm getting paid. I don't know which button to press, because if I hit the wrong button, it's going to take me out, like way out. All right. I am tech-tarded, by the way. So this is literally what a lot of my videos do, which is not that great. Let me see how to find. I'm looking to find the revenue. I don't know where it's at. There we are. There's a revenue button there. So, yeah, we're not making much. So the revenue goes up and down, of course. But let's see there. It's like $10.96. That was from a live stream, and that was only $10.96 because I had a super chat. Like somebody gave me a super chat, and then the rest of the pennies, like literal pennies that we're talking about, that's seriously just ad revenue, if there is any at all. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how little we make. Then we can look at content performance, and I can show you a little bit better here. Let me click this down and shorten this up so I got some more control over my stick, because this is awkward. So this one video here, it's called the Beginner's Guide Life Pro Vibration Plate. That video so far has only made $3.86. This is just showing you regional, numbers is what we're making. This video here, Carnivore Diet Exposed, $3.57. That's since the video uploaded. So yeah, just to be reasonable. Over here is my payment schedule that has been going on. So March is ongoing. We're looking at a payment of $72.82 for the month of March. February, we got paid $91. Let's see, January, $67. My biggest payment so far was $145 right here. But yeah, that's just to be transparent, that we don't make a lot of money messing around with YouTube channels. It's just funny. It's just funny how it all works. I thought, there was a lot more money to be made. And then I found out otherwise later. And I found out we make our money through affiliate links and stuff like that. So we are Amazon affiliated. So if people were to go to my description section, after I get it attached to the page and uploaded, now there'll be affiliate links that are attached to almost all of my videos, either for the Life Pro vibration plate or just random Amazon shopping. You click on one of those links and shop, that gives me some commission and some kickback. But that's really the only way we can make money is affiliate links and stuff like that. Let's see. Not a whole lot of comments going on. There are only 7 people in here. That's okay. Let's see what else we got here. Research. Da 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 da. No, that's not where I want to be. My audience. Now we're gonna close out of that, and I gotta go get back to my food before my cat decides to eat all my food. I can close out all these now. Come on. I'm trying to get closed out all these programs. I thought I already set you up. Okay, I got too many tabs open. That's what's going on. Okay. So that should be done. That should be set up for later. Now my videos are all set to go. So yeah, today's video will be eligible to anybody that's a member of the channel. Memberships don't cost a whole lot, and that'll just give you, instant previews to videos that are basically just sitting in the queue, waiting to actually release for tomorrow. I'm gonna go back to my steak. I'm hungry. Hey, dog. I'm gonna have to probably bail out of here pretty soon. And I do appreciate everybody that dropped by, that usually drops by, and the regulars. You're super helpful and handy. Yeah, sponsors aren't something that just get handed out to everybody. I mean, for starters, you've got to be a certain size channel in the first place in order to get sponsors. I've had a lot of sponsorship offers, but most of them are scammers from like India, trying to get your channel information. That way they can just hijack the channel and the current subscribers that are already there. That happens a lot. That's why you never connect your YouTube channel's email to your YouTube channel. You make a separate email. That way you don't risk getting hacked that way and losing your entire channel. Because there's been huge channels that have been taken down by these hackers just because they use the channel's email. So, like say, whatever your account is right here, like Alex Enoch, if you decided to use whatever email you used to create your channel and then actually made a successful channel, that would be dangerous because they could take that email. Eventually, they would figure out your passwords and stuff like that. It's not too hard, but yeah, and then you would lose that entire channel. They would just have taken your channel. There's no way to get it back. It's scary. I tried turning my ragdoll cat Carnivore. He wasn't too impressed. I said the most he will eat is a bit of canned tuna. Weird. I can't get my cats to eat tuna. I enjoy your videos above several others because you're more realistic. You don't hide when you mess up on the diet. That's an important topic there is, yeah, don't hide from your audience, because in order for you guys to understand the realistic aspects of carnivore diet or the weight loss, I have to come out here and be transparent. I have to tell you when it sucks. I have to tell you when my emotions are just bouncing off the walls. I'm happy, sad, glad, depressed, anxious, and it comes and goes. But it's hard because a lot of the topics that I cover are personally embarrassing topics, and I got over all of that. I used to be so embarrassed when I talked about stuff like my feet or, my belly roll or stretch marks or stuff like that, or how I poop. Even though I started talking about it early on, it was incredibly embarrassing to bring it up. And then the story about how I almost died in the bathtub because I was so morbidly obese and my family went away. I couldn't get out of the bathtub and I had nobody here. They weren't due home for a couple of weeks. I mean, I would have literally died in that bathtub. I would have had no way to call for help. My neighbors don't live close enough. We live pretty close, but we don't live close enough. They would have heard me screaming. So yeah, it would have really sucked. Let's see. Seattle Seahawks something or other. Let's see. Let's see. You don't sugarcoat it or pretend and fine. It's about you and a few other smaller channels. Yeah, I do tend to promote smaller channels, because I'm a smaller channel myself, and we like to stick together. Once in a while, we'll we'll spread out a little bit and abandon ship from talking about each other's stuff, depending on which direction other channels go at times. Let's see, if you know the Seattle Seahawks streamer Hawks Nest, he feeds his cat salmon. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, something a lot of people don't realize, this diet makes you feel really amazing, but for some of us, after being on it a while, it gets super bland and boring. I almost want to start my own channel. Absolutely, start your own channel, Alex. It's not hard. Just be realistic and connect with people. However, you can think to connect with people. Doing live streams was never something I thought I would ever be doing. It intimidated the heck out of me. I mean, I was scared to death to do my first ever live stream, even as a guest. You know, I had a friend of mine here, Carnivore Scott, was the one that invited me onto his channel, and he'll invite anybody on there as long as you got something to talk about. If you're a loose cannon and you're going to start cussing and saying weird stuff, don't jump in on somebody's live stream. That'll make it hard. But yeah, when it comes to weight loss, there's so many things you can talk about when it comes to health and nutrition. And this is why my channel is called Big Man Alaska. I don't want to be Big Man Carnivore, or something like carnivore related, because who knows how I'm going to feel, with this YouTube channel in the next year or two. I might want to go a complete different direction. It might not be carnivore related, it could be more Alaska related. But since I'm doing the carnivore diet and it's my main focus in my life right now, it's stuff that I want to talk about. And since I'm actively losing weight and I've had really good success with weight loss, I like to share it. Because not everybody knows this stuff. Not everybody wants to listen to a doctor talk about it or an online doctor talk about it, even though they got some really good stuff. They want to hear from the average fat guy like myself that's had tremendous success losing weight. And then hopefully they can, get themselves motivated and started and move on. But okay, guys, I'm going to finish up this steak here. We've already been going for an hour. That's a long time on a Saturday. But I do have some other carnivore channels I need to get in touch with over the weekend and talk to. I also like to follow up on their content too. So when I'm doing live streams, it prevents me from doing stuff like that. But yeah, if you found this stream useful, subscribe to the channel. If you plan on coming back or want to know a little bit more about what I'm doing, yeah, that information's available in my playlist, Losing Weight in Alaska. And yeah, this is just what I do. I try to help people that are having problems trying to help themselves and just make them realize, like, hey, this is real. This is possible. You can do stuff. Believe in yourself. That was the hardest part. There's a lot of hard parts, but one of the harder parts was just believing in myself enough to figure out that I could actually do this. And now I'm here. I mean, I'm able to get on a bicycle. I'm able to go for hikes. I can walk up and down mountains. I can figure out all of my other health related issues. And I don't think I would have been here. So again, if you're morbidly obese and you're struggling, you're stuck in bed, maybe a wheelchair, yeah, I'm praying for you. There is a solution. There is a way to get out. And it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of education. Just don't give up. That's the main thing. Just don't give up. Yeah, so I'll have a good one. Thank you there, Alex. News analysis. My channel is News and Analysis. Well, I would hope so with a channel name like that. That's a long channel name, by the way. I will also be making more strength and conditioning, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA content. Well, I wish you luck with that. News and analysis. But yeah, all right, we're going to fumble through the buttons, guys, and we're going to get on out of here for the day and probably get outside because it's absolutely gorgeous outside. I'll give you a shot of that before we get out of here. All right, guys, this is what it looks like outside in Alaska right now. And I want you to all know, I want you to take care, and we'll talk to you next time.